Okay, so today we'll cover the accounting part for the account receivable, accounts payable, and then the reporting of the accounting. And we will also see how the assets can be registered into the accounting. Some of the parts have already been cleared by us during the sessions of sales module and the purchase module, and we will revise it again. So let's start from the accounts payable. So accounts payable
Yeah, before
means the
before beginning about the accounts, I have zero knowledge in accounts. I have very basic knowledge in accounts. So the terms I don't know how will I catch up. That's the thing. So anyway, we'll just look into it. Let's moving.
yes. On the other side, training would be recorded, so you can catch it up again. I will try as much as can be to give you the knowledge, considering that you don't have any accounting knowledge. But
Okay.
obviously, you will only be able to learn the basic things and the process flow of the accounting. And if you don't have the accounting background, you would not be able to learn the actual concepts of the accounting, but you would be able to learn the process flow, how accounting is basically operating in Odoo. So you can, being a ERP consultant or functional consultant, you should have the knowledge of the accounting processes into the Odoo.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, so if I start from the all of your value transactions, so that transactions that have a value have the impact of the accounting, and they create a journal entry. So journal entry concept is basically called, they do a debit and a credit into the accounting, and by that debit and credit, accounting application basically makes the report of profit and loss of your organization and the balance sheet of your organization and other accounting reportings as necessary. So the profit and loss is basically used to judge the performance of your organization, to see how well your company is operating and what are the profits or losses for the year, for the period, for the quarter, or for a month of your company. And on the other side, balance sheet report is basically used to judge the position of your organization on a specific date. So the balance sheet is basically, a balance sheet can only be um, executed on a specific date, on as on date, and it shows you the position of your company, because balance sheet shows you the assets details and liabilities details and the equities detail of your company, and that's why it is basically showing you the position of your company. On the other side, PNL is showing you the performance of your company.
Okay.
And both of these reports are basically built up automatically in Odoo by having the automated accounting transactions from the transactions which involves the valuation and which should have the accounting debit and credit. So we will see which transactions have accounting impacts and which do not, and what are the accounting impacts that are posted by doing a financial transaction. So if I start from the purchase module, so we will see, let me go to the purchase. So the purchase module starts from the RFQ. If you remember, I have shared you a flow chart
Yes. Yes.
at very earlier stage. So let me again make it up in Excel to give you the understanding. Can you see my Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so it basically starts from RFQ, so request for quotation, in which you select the products, prices, and the quotation is basically shared with your vendor. And then after confirmation from vendor, it turns into the PO. And then after PO, confirmation of PO, you actually receive the materials. Then the material comes to your premises, a receipt is done for the material. After receiving the material, you basically create bill for your purchase order, and after creating the bill on the due date, you make the payment for the bill. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Okay. In this process, these three documents have the accounting impact, which I am highlighting in yellow. Okay, so RFQ and PO does not have any accounting impact. These are only informatory documents. So you do the RFQ and the PO just for the sharing and agreement type document with your vendor. After that, when you receive the materials based on the prices of this PO, accounting entry is posted for the inventory receipt. And then when you make the bill, accounting entry is posted for the payable of your inventories. And then when you make the payment, an accounting entry is posted to adjust your payable and bank as well. Is it
Okay.
making sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now I will go to the system and show you the same process in system as well. We have already seen this process, but for the accounting point of view we'll see it now. Okay, so I will start from PO. So let me see if I can use any existing by duplicating this. So if we go to this PO has a product of stool dark blue. Let me check the. So starting from the settings, accounting settings of a product basically comes from the product category. You can see if I go to the product template, product definition form, on in the first tab of general information, here is product category. Okay, so you can go on the product category from this internal link, and you can also go to the product categories directly from the configuration and the product categories. Okay,
Okay.
and on this product category, your accounting setup is actually done. You can see here on the right side inventory valuation. So your inventory valuation is basically costing method is average costing. We have already discussed the average costing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so your inventory would be valued on the average cost. And then inventory valuation method is automated. Automated means your accounting entries would be posted automatically by Odoo.
Okay.
Okay, so if you done the manual here, okay, so your accounting entries would not be posted automatically by Odoo. Your accountant have to do the accounting entries manually on daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis.
Okay.
Okay, but the best practices and the recommended method is to do the automation and to use the automated option of Odoo, and all of your inventory valuation transactions would be posted automatically.
Okay.
Okay, and on the other side, if you select the automated, there are some account stock properties that appeared on selection of automation. So which stock valuation account should be used while doing the valuation general entries in Odoo? So this is the chart of account code. It's you have a chart of account code set up in your accounting application. So the chart of account setup is basically set of accounts that are used for debits and credits in all of accounting entries. Okay, If I remain here and if I duplicate my tab, can you see my duplicated tab as well?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to accounting, configuration here, and you can see here under the accounting, chart of accounts. Okay, so these are all of accounts under the chart of accounts, and these had different types. Like if I group it by account types, you will see here there are some bank and cash accounts, then current asset accounts, then fixed assets accounts and receivable account, non-current asset account, expenses accounts, and income accounts. So these are set of accounts that are used for the journal entries that are made on different transactions like inventory, receipt, bill, payment. So which account would be debited and which account would be credited? It is selected from these chart of account setup.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say I go to product category. The account that is appearing here, it is coming from this set of account, chart of account. Here, stock in
Okay.
hand.
So
Okay.
standard chart of accounts will be there for each of the country, I guess.
Yes, when you start and download with your localization, standard chart of account is uploaded by Odoo automatically.
Okay.
Yes, so if you want to do your own, you can delete the existing one and you can create a new one.
Okay.
And on the other side, when you choose the inventory valuation method automated, so the accounts are automatically selected from the chart of account by Odoo. So if you are layman, you doesn't have any accounting uh, background. So Odoo also supports you when you select the automated. It selects the accounts by default. But if you have the accounting background, if you have the accounting knowledge, and if you want to change any account and set it up according to your choice, you can change these accounts as well.
Okay.
Okay. So stock in hand account selected automatically. What general would be pasted? This is basically a general name upon which the transaction would be conducted. We will see it how it is used. And then the stock input account means when you will receive the stock, in which account would be used. One account would be used, that is stock in hand, and the second account would be stock in interim received. On the other side, where stock output account is used for the delivery, so when you will deliver your stocks, so the stock valuation account would be credited, and on the other side, the debit side would use the stock in interim delivered account. All of accounting entries that are posted would have debit and credit side. This is called dual entry concept. So when a debit entry is posted in stock in hand by receipt, the credit would be posted in stock in interim account. And when, upon the delivery, when the credit is posted in stock in hand account, and the debit would be posted in stock in interim delivered account. Okay.
Okay.
Likewise, production account is basically used when you transfer your components to production floor for the production or manufacturing of a final product. A work in progress account is used. Your stock valuation account would be credited and the work in progress account would be debited. And when your final product would become available in stock by closing the MO, this work in progress account would be debited and stock in a hand account would be stock in hand account would be debited and the work in progress account would be credited. So at first, when you will transfer the components, value would be parked into this account, and when you will close the MO, the final product will become available. Value would be removed from this account and will be parked into stock in hand account. On the other
Okay.
side, on the left side, income and expense account. Income expense account is used when you do a sale transaction. This account is credited, and the expense account is used when you basically do the purchase transaction, or when you do the sale transaction, expense is booked into this account, which is cost of goods sold account. Okay, I can change here the account as well. So this is all about the setup of the accounting. So the accounting setup comes from the inventory product categories. If
Yeah,
you want to
one
change,
more thing. The account properties means what is the price difference account means? Where is the difference
sorry.
coming? The price difference account. Where is the difference coming? The left side.
Yes, it is basically used for the difference between your PO amount and your bill amount. So sometimes it happens that you have agreed PO with your vendor with the price of $30 when you receive the bill, the price on the bill can be $29 or the $31, and then the vendor tells you on the phone that the prices have been slightly changed and it has revised the bill. And then if you have agreed to counter that difference or to accept that difference, so you can park this difference into this account.
Okay.
Yes, because the difference is why the difference is parked because you have received your materials into your inventory on the PO cost.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and you are doing the bill later on. So the
Okay.
system enforces you can do the bill upon the cost upon which you have received your inventories actually. But if there is any difference in cost between inventory cost that is received and the bill cost that you are doing to that you are going to post, then you can use this account to post the difference in this account and then do the bill.
Okay. Okay.
So the price difference account is basically used the PNL is used to be the PNL account. The difference is directly charged to the profit and loss, and then you can do your bill actually. So let me select here any account price difference, create expense. So I'm creating a new account. This account was not present in chart of account, so I have created a new account in the chart of account. Save, and it has been selected as a price difference. So if there is any price difference in my PO price and the bill price, so the difference amount would be parked into this account into the journal entry.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll do the transaction, and on the other side this is the setup on the product category. So if you go to the product, there is also accounting tab on the product, so you can select here the income account, expense account, and the price difference account here as well. Okay, so if you don't want to do the setup on the product category, you can do the setup for the income, expense, and the price difference on the product template. And if there is any account given on the product template here, so the product template account would be prevailed rather than from the category. Okay, so the basic concept is if you don't have the setup on the product category, you can do here the accounts. Or on the other side, if you have the product category setup that is same for all of the products that are under saleable office furniture category, but there are a couple of products for which you want to change the income and expense account, so you can change the income and expense accounts on the product template as well.
Hmm.
If there is not any account mentioned on the product template, system will use it from the product category.
Okay.
Okay, so I will go to the purchase and I will do a new transaction. Let's say I'm duplicating this purchase order, RFQ, and confirm it. To see the accounting transactions and the valuation upon transactions, you should have a you should turn on your developer mode. So I have turned it on for my this. So this is a PO. There is no any valuation or accounting entry for this because it's just agreement between you and the vendor. No, the receipt is due. Let's say your material have arrived, so you can do the receipt of the material. If I go to the receipt and if I validate this receipt, Okay, so I need to give here the serial number. So let's say serial number of product, save, validate. Okay, as I have validated the receipt, you can see here the valuation smart button attached on the receipt. Okay,
Okay. Oh yeah.
so every transaction which have a accounting impact and the valuation, if you have developer mode turned on, it will show you the valuation smart link attached on the transaction. So this is inventory receipt. This has a valuation impact on the average costing, and the accounting journal entry would be posted on this entry. So that way it's showing you the valuation. So if you want to see the both of these, just click on the valuation. So the value is $10 for one stool dark blue. If you expand this line, here is a book icon. So you can see the general entry by clicking the book icon as well. So if I click on the book icon, so you can see here it is debiting under the debit column 10 rupees amount, and it is debiting stock in hand. It is a stock valuation account on the product category, and it is crediting stock in interim received account against this account. So the amount is parked temporarily in this interim account. When I will do the bill for this purchase order, so the amount this account would be debited, so it will be zero. It's crediting on the receipt, will be debited on the bill, so the total impact will be zero, and the payable will be credited, the actual vendor payable on the bill. So this is the journal entry that is posted on the inventory receipt. Now, if I go to my PO, there should be a it should be ready to create a bill. Okay, so you can see here create bill option have been activated because I have received my material. So if I go with the create bill, okay, and let's say as you have mentioned, well, while creating the bill, let's say the vendor has sent me the bill with the $10.5 amount. So there is a slight change in the price, but during my conversation with the vendor, I have accepted this change. So let's say, but my PO was, if you remember, for the $10 price. Confirm. I need to give the bill date. I will confirm this. So you can see here bill confirmed. And if you want to see the bill journal entry, you can go to the general items tab. Why it's not posted the difference? Here is 10.50 stock in Taram account payable to suppliers. The difference would be posted into the price difference account. Let me check that. I'm just creating a new transaction to check it again.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so it's not picking. I have to check that why it's not
Okay.
picking the price difference account. But the process is same. So when your PO amount and the bill amount is not matching, so and you have received the inventory already, so it ports the difference into the price difference account.
Okay. Fine.
So I will check it out and will let you know what's the change
Okay.
in the setup.
Hmm.
Okay, so the price, so the bill have been posted, and if we go to any of bill, so let's say this is a bill, and the general item of the bill is when the temporary account and interim account was used and credited at the time of inventory receipt. Now at the time of bill posting, it have been debited. So the impact in that stock and interim account have been nullified, and then the payable account, that is actually your payable, so the bill have been posted, your now you need to pay your bill. So the payable to suppliers have been credited means all of your liabilities are basically credited, so that's why it is crediting your payable to suppliers, and now it is payable. So if it is payable, now you need to register the payment, so you will go with the register payment option, and when you will select your bank and the create payment. Okay, your entry have been moved into the in payment state, and now you can see here, if I go to invoice lines, and here at the bottom a payment entry have been attached that have been made against this bill. So if you go to this I button, and you can go to the view the general entry of the payment. So this is a payment entry, and on the top of the payment entry you can see here the general entry. You can go to the general entry, and now you can see here it is debiting the payable to supplier that was credited at the time of bill. So now you are paying your payable, so it is debiting your payables, and it is crediting your bank account, that is outstanding payments account, because your bank is now decreasing. You are making payment from your bank, and currently while you have done the payment, it is using the outstanding receipt account, oh sorry, outstanding payment account rather than direct bank account. Because in Odoo, the standard process is you need to do the reconciliation of this payment with your bank statement as well. When you will do the reconciliation with your bank statement, so the actual amount of this 340 rupees would be parked to your bank from this outstanding payment account. Till the time of reconciliation, the amount will remain in outstanding payment account.
Okay,
Is it
reconciliation is
making
the
sense?
point. Yeah, the reconciliation is the point at which we compare with the bank statements, right?
Yes. Yes. So let's say I
Okay.
have done the payment of this. So now we will do the reconciliation. So the amount is 340. So let's say I'm duplicating my tab and I'm going to accounting. So when you go to the accounting, so the by default the dashboard page is loaded, and upon the dashboard page you can see your banks as well. You can see here cash account and the bank account, and on the bank account you can see here the reconcile 8 items, means these 8 items need to be reconciled. 8 items mean these 8 items are in your bank statement in your bank, but these are need to be reconciled with your Odoo transactions. Okay, how
Okay.
these
Okay.
transactions come into Odoo? So there are three methods. So you can do these transactions manually. You can import the bank statement into Odoo, and you can also do the synchronization with your banks, and Odoo will get the bank statement feeds automatically from the bank.
Okay.
Okay, so currently we don't have any bank synchronization. We can do the import and we can do the manual transaction as well by going to new transaction. So let's say you have received the statement from your bank and we need to import that statement. You will go with the import file option. Okay,
Okay.
how you can do the import? No, let's see it quickly. So if I go to the transaction, let me have the import format. So when you will receive your statement from bank, it will contain all of these fields. So currently I will fill these fields manually. I am just exporting the data of these are the bank statement lines. I am just exporting two statement lines to get the format for import. Export. Uh, Company not necessary. Code. External ID is complete. Is reconciled. Valid. General currency. Sequence. Okay, you need these column. These are the required columns for the bank statement. Can you see my Excel sheet or not?
No, no Excel sheets.
Okay, so I have exported two statement lines in Excel. I will use these to import new statement. Can you see it now?
Yes.
So these lines have been statement lines have been exported by me. So let's say I have received the statement from my bank, and this statement usually contains these columns. So let's say I have received the statement and I have do some work on the Excel sheet of the statement, and I have only get these columns from the statement that need to be imported into my Odoo. So let's say the first payment is let me confirm my entry that I have made. It was for yes. So my vendor is Abigail Peterson. So let me copy this. When you will get this statement from bank, so these fields would be filled automatically by bank. So let's say my vendor is, I'm mentioning the vendor name in label as well and the partner name. And let's say my date is today's date. and amount for my payment was 340. So the payments should be in negative in your statement and the receipts should be in positive.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say I'm giving the name is, I need to give the statement name as well. Okay, so I have made a statement, short statement of the two entries. So let's say you have got this statement from your bank for today, and the only two entries have been made from your bank today. One is for payment with 340 rupees, and one is for receipt of 96.67. And the partner to which this payment was made was Abigail, and the partner from which this payment was received. Let me change this received partner. We can go with Audrey Peterson. Shafi, is it making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this statement have been made, and now I will go to import the statement into my bank account. So let's say currently you can see here in this bank account, 8 items need to be reconciled, and I am going to import two new items from the bank statement. And then this reconcile 8 items would be changed to the reconciled 10 items. Okay.
Okay.
So I will go the import option. You can see here import file option on the bank. I will go to import file, selecting my file and open. System will do the process. Okay, the system have matched columns automatically from the Excel sheet to the Odoo. Amount is matched with amount, date with date, label with label, partner partner, and statement with statement. So I will do the test at first. Everything seems valid. So there is one non-blocking error that the statement that you have mentioned in the Excel sheet does not exist. So I will go with here option prevent import. Instead of preventing the import, I will go to create a new
Yes.
statement.
Yeah. One issue is there. The Excel sheets. I'm still on the Excel sheet. So
You are on the Excel sheet.
yes, Excel
Okay,
sheet. Yeah.
let me change the view.
I thought some lagging may be
Let me
there with. Yeah.
let me do it now again. Can you see now Odoo screen?
I can see the auto screen.
Okay, so on the bank you can see here reconcile 8 items. So now I
Okay.
am going to import 2 items from the Excel sheet, so it would be converted to the reconciled 10 items.
Okay.
Okay, and
Mm.
I will go with the import file option. You can see here for the
Okay.
statement. I will click here import file, and I will select my file that I have prepared. Okay, so system will do the process, and it will match the Excel columns with the Odoo columns automatically. Okay,
Okay.
you can click on the test at first to see the accuracy of the file. So it is giving you the error of the statement because the statement does not exist already. So you can go with the instead of preventing the import, on here you can select the create new values, means you system will create the new statement with the name of 72324-1, and it will import two lines in this statement.
Okay.
Okay, so I have selected create new values. Now again I will go with the test. So now you can see here the message, everything seems valid, and I will go with the import. You will see the message on the right side, two records successfully imported, and on the bottom on the bank general you can see here reconciled 10 items now.
Hmm.
Okay, so the
Oh,
statement lines, two statement lines have been imported. So if I go to the statement lines, now the time is to reconcile statement lines. So I have imported a statement line with 340. You can see here it's the 340,
okay.
and under the payment you can also see uh, I need to remove this line. Okay, so you can see here on the left side, these are the statement lines that are in
Okay.
the bank and imported by you. And on the right side, under the bottom, these are the payments or the bills or the invoices that need to be reconciled with the bank statement lines, and the vendor filter is automatically applied by Odoo by deducting getting the vendor or the partner from your statement line. So if you remember, in the statement line of the Excel, we have also mentioned the vendor of Abigail Peterson partner as a partner. So system has automatically applied the filter on the right side to get the bills, payments, and the invoices only for the Abigail Peterson
Okay.
that need to be reconciled with this statement line. So you can see here one bill. This is a bill that is pending, need to be reconciled. So there is no payment transaction for this bill. That is why it is showing you here to reconcile it directly with the payment transaction of the bank statement. And then another is payment transaction that we made right now for the bill of the 340 that need to be reconciled with the bank. So we will do with the payment. So we will reconcile this payment entry with this statement line. So the system have already selected and highlighted these in light green color. So you only need to verify that the record seems better, and you can see here the impact that will be posted when you will hit the validate button. The impact is here. So it is going to credit your bank. You can see here your bank account, and it is going to debit your outstanding payments account. This was the account that was credited at the time of your payment, and now it is going to be debited, and the actual bank account is going to be credited.
Okay.
Okay, and I will hit the validate, and this will be removed from here. Now that entry have been matched. Okay, and if I go back to my bill now my bill status should be paid. You can see here previously it was in payment. So
Payment.
as I have reconciled my payment entry, now it's paid. And if I go to my payment again from this I information button, view, now you can see here previously there was only one bill and the journal entry. Now the one transaction is there. This is basically a reconciliation transaction. If you go to this is the same entry that you done for the reconciliation.
Okay. If the payment has been not been, I mean, not been in the paid state. So if you're trying to take the outstanding amount of a particular vendor, whether it will get reflected the unreconciled items.
If you want to see the unpaid amount of the vendor,
Yeah, no. What I'm asking is that suppose an amount we receive it and it's not reconciled.
yes,
So I need to create the outstanding statement of a vendor.
yes,
So what will be the status of that particular amount, the not reconciled or unreconciled amount?
yes, you can see here. If I go back to this payment transaction, uh, okay, the first of all your bills and your invoices would be in payment stage. In payment means every bill or payment that is in payment state means the payment for that bill or invoice need to be reconciled, still not reconciled.
Okay.
Okay, and on the other side, if I go to directly customers payments, okay, so I know I'm on the payment, so there is no bill entry here. These are the payments. So the payment can be direct payments and can be through the bill. So if you want to see here the payments that are not reconciled yet, so it means are outstanding yet, you can go with the filters, and here is filter not no bank matching. Okay, so if you select
Okay.
here, all of the payments that are not still matched with the bank will be paid here.
No. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Any question?
No, that's okay.
Okay, so that was the accounting for the sorry, purchase side. Now we will do the same on the sale side. So pretty much things are the same. The only difference is for the chart of account codes. So the codes would be different on the sales side, and the debit credits would be different, but the process is same. So likewise, if I share you the Excel sheet again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
So let me add one step here, reconciliation, and this was for purchase. Okay, now sale, it starts from the quotation, then SO means sales order. After doing the sales order, after confirmation of the sales order, you actually deliver your goods, delivery. Then after delivery of your goods, you post your invoice. Then after invoice posting, you actually receive the payments from your customer. So you can ask him receipt. Okay. Then
Okay.
reconciliation, that is same step. So likewise, you are doing the reconciliation for your payments. You also have to do the reconciliation for your receipts. That receipt have been come into your bank as well.
Okay.
And likewise, these four are the entries that have accounting impacts.
Right.
Okay, so now I will go to the order. I will share my Odoo screen again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so I will go to sales. Okay, so let me check the product to use. So it has a cost and the necessary things. Okay, 345p. So we will use the same product that was used for the purchase. Let's say it have been purchased, and now we are going to process the sale for the same product. Okay, so I will go with the Audrey Peterson, customer, product D underscore 0045, stool, and it's the dark blue one, quantity one. Okay, so the unit prices you can see here 500, and the cost price on which that was purchased, if you remember, I think it was 335, 335. And now I will confirm this quotation. As the quotation will be confirmed, a delivery is there that need to be posted. Okay, so I will go and select here the serial have already been selected automatically by the system. I will just validate it. Okay, so delivery done, and as delivery done, you can see here the valuation link on the delivery have been attached because this contains the valuation and the journal entry as well. And you can see here the system used the valuation, same valuation upon which we have done the purchase of this product. And if I go to the book, here is a general item. So it is crediting the stock in hand account and debiting the stock in interim delivery account. And if you remember, upon receipt, the entry was you can say the vice versa. The stock in hand was debiting at the time of receipt, but now at the time of delivery, it is crediting. And at the time of receipt, there was account that was basically crediting stock in term received, and now at the time of delivery, it is debiting stock in term delivered account that was mentioned on the product category.
Okay.
Okay, and if I go back to the order, that should be ready now for the create invoice. Yes, you can see here it is ready for the create invoice, and on the order you can see here order quantity 1, then a delivered 1, invoice 0. So now we can go with the create invoice option or regular invoice. Okay, as I have created invoice, I will confirm the invoice. As invoice have been confirmed, I can go to the general item and I can see the general item. So it is for the sale, it is recognizing my sales. So out of the revenues and the sales are credited, so it is using the sales income account that was mentioned on the product category and crediting with the sale order amount. Okay,
Yeah.
and likewise the stock in term delivered account that was debited at the time of delivery, now it is crediting here. So the amount is basically coming out from stock in term delivered account, and it is debiting the cost of goods sold. So it is basically recognizing the expense of your inventory as well at the time of your sale. Okay, so these two entries are basically your cost of goods sold expense entry. So it is pulling out the amount from stock in term delivered account, and it is debiting the cost of goods sold account, that is basically a expense account for your sales.
Okay.
Okay, and at parallel, this is the sales tax. If you have any sales tax on your sales order and the invoice, so the sales tax account is also crediting. This is your liability. So all of your sales tax that are collected on the sales transaction are need to be paid to your uh, tax authority. So that's why it is crediting. This is a payable. And the last account is receivable from customer. So your receivable from customer is basically the total of your revenue, sales income, and the taxes. So it is taking revenue 500 plus your taxes that need to be collected from your customer, and creating a receivable 585 from your customer, receivable from customer 585.
So GST, those amounts we didn't configure in it. That's why it's not showing, right?
Sorry.
The taxes, the other taxes, the GST taxes, right?
Yes, tax is showing here. You can see here the second last. This is tax.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Which country has been set for the taxation right now? Pakistan.
In my DB, yes, it's
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
But tax all over the world, the tax tax rules are same. In your country, I think there would also be a GST. You can say GST is basically general sales tax, and it is also
Yes.
payable at the time of invoice.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
So the sale tax basically is called VAT, value added tax. All of your VAT that is collected on the sales transactions need to be paid to your tax authorities.
Exactly.
So basically, it is collected on behalf of the tax authorities from the customer.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why it is your liability actually. So that's why it is crediting here. All of liabilities are credited. It is crediting here, and on the other side, it need to be received from your customer. So that's why it is taking this amount and then the revenue amount and creating a total receivable from the customer 585, 500 for revenue and the 85 for the tax. So you need to collect 585 from your customer. So the receivable from customer is 585.
Okay.
Okay. Now the receivable have been created. So now let's say that payment have been received from the customer against the receivable. I will go with the register payment option, and as I will click on the register payment, the fields would be populated automatically. I need to create payment. So as I will hit the create payment button, you can see here on the bottom, likewise we see on the bill, the payment is attached with the invoice. I will go with the I button. I can jump to the general entry of the receipt. This is the receipt entry, and I can go to the general entry of the receipt. It is crediting the receivable from customer because now you have received the payment from your customer. Previously it was credited, now it is sorry, previously it was debited, now it is crediting the receivable from customer and debiting the outstanding receipt account instead of bank. So when you will
Okay.
do the reconciliation, it will debit the bank and it will credit the outstanding receipt.
Okay.
Okay, and likewise if I go to the invoice, it should be in payment state. You can see here. Now let's do a reconciliation for this. Let's assume that the payment have also been received in your bank and the bank statement is there. You will import the bank statement and you will reconcile this receipt with the bank statement line. This invoice would be moved to the paid state and the payment would be moved to the bank account from the outstanding receipt account.
Okay.
So let's say I will go to the customer payments again, and I go on to the dashboards. So you can see here reconciled 9 items are already there that need to be reconciled. So I will do one import for my receipt that I had do recently. So let me share my Excel screen with you to do a new statement import. Can you see my Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say previously there was two statement lines in the statement. So let's say for now I have only one statement line and the amount is 585 that have been received from my customer. Date is same, label and partner is Order Peterson and the statement is also same. Okay. So now I am
Yes.
going to import only one statement line. Positive amount means I have received this payment, and now I will share you the Odoo screen. Okay, so I am on the bank dashboard, so I will go with the import file option. I will select the bank statement file, open. Okay, so can you see my screen of the Odoo now?
Yes.
Yeah. So as I have selected the file, it have all automatically mapped the fields of the file, and now I will go with the test. Everything seems valid because the statement line I have selected, the statement name I have selected is already created by the previous import. Now I will go with the import option. One record successfully imported, and now you can see here the reconciled 10 items have been updated. Previously it was 9. So I will go with the reconciled 10 items, and you can see here the first entry that is with the 585 rupees amount, and on the right side the system have automatically picked the relevant entry that need to be reconciled with this. So this is the payment that I have made right now,
Okay.
and on the above part you can see here the entry that is going to be posted by the reconciliation of this. bank is going to be debited and the outstanding receipt account is going to be credited. If everything seems valid, I will just hit the validate button. Okay, so the receipt have been reconciled, and now if I go back to my invoice, it should be now, I'm refreshing my screen, it should be now transferred to the paid state. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, the paid.
Okay, and I will click on the I button, view for the payment details, and you can see here one transaction have been attached on the payment, that is actually a reconciled transaction. On the general entry of the payment, if I recall it, so the outstanding receipt account was debited rather than bank, and the receivable from customer was credited. And when we reconciled it, if I go to the reconciled items, you can see here the sorry, let me go from another side. Outstanding receipt account was debited and the receivable from customer was credited, but on the transaction that we do the reconciliation, you can see here outstanding receipt account is credited, that was debited at the time of receipt, and the actual bank account is debited now.
Okay. Okay.
And one other thing that need to be noticed here that we I think missed. So if I create a new invoice, so let's say I go to the orders and create a new order, check a report, same order, I will duplicate it, confirm, and let's say I give the payment terms here 30 days. Now I will process the delivery, validate, will again go to the order, create invoice option is there, I will create the invoice. And on the invoice, you can see here the payment terms automatically populated from the order. Payment term 30 days means after 30 days that invoice will be due to be received. I will confirm the invoice. Okay. Receivable, the same entry have been posted. One thing that need to be checked here. So if I go to other tab and if I go to the reporting and if I go to the age receivable reporting, there should be the same entry under the age receivable because I didn't receive the payment or receipt against this entry yet. Invoice number is 0007 and the vendor is Audrey Peterson. So you can see here Audrey Peterson, and if I expand this vendor, you will see here the invoice. Okay, and that is due to be received at date. Okay, so when the due date of this invoice would be passed, that is basically you can see here 22 of August 24, when this due date would be passed and it would be reflected in these columns according to the age of the invoice after the due date. So let's say the due date have been passed for the invoice and the 1 month have been passed and you didn't receive the receipt for this invoice, it will be showing to you here under the 1 to 30 column means the age of the invoice due date have been 30 days. So you can track your receivables by this aging report, how much receivable, how much old your receivables are actually.
Okay.
Okay, so likewise same option is also available for your payables as well. So when you are creating the bills if the bills are pending to be paid, you can track that bills from the reporting aged payable report. Likewise, you will go to the age payable and you can see here one bill of which the age is 1 to 30, amount of 35.10. You can see here. So this bill is due and the due date have been passed, and you can track the bills from the age by this report.
Mm.
Is it making sense?
Yes, yes. What about the for a particular vendor alone, how we can print the report?
For payables or
Yeah,
receivables?
receivables.
Yes, you can do that. If you can go to the customers, and if you go to the follow-up reports,
Okay.
yes. So here is by default it is showing you all of customers of which there are overdue invoices. Overdue means for which the due date have been passed. You can see here the follow-up level is 15 days, means after due date 15 days have been passed. If you click here, it will show you the all of the invoices that are pending and the due date as well. So the first invoice, for the first invoice, due date was 30 days, 38 days ago. For the second, 23 days ago. And you can have the follow-up from your customer. You can do the print of this, and even you can click on the follow-up. Okay, so it will show you the template of the email that will be shooted to your customer. Okay, and the attachment, all of these invoices that are due would be attached automatically, and you can do the print as well, and you can also run the print and do the email only for your customer. And if you select the print as well, send and print, click the send and print, email will be sent to your customer for the follow-up of these overdue invoices. Okay, so you can see on the right side of the chatter, email is also attached that have been sent out to your customer. Here is
Mm.
email with the total amount that is due and the detail of the due invoices. Okay, and then the print is also attached here. You can also have the print of this as well.
Okay.
So here's the PDF print as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so currently, if you can, currently follow-up reports are built up upon your follow-up actions that you have created. So these are totally configurable. If you can go to the configuration, and then there should be option of the follow-up levels here. So you can do the multiple follow-ups depending upon the due days. So you can generate the multiple follow-ups, and you can even click the you can turn on the automatic email follow-up option. So when the due date have been paused and the 15 days have been paused, there should be an automatic follow-up email to your customers that can also be done by Odoo. So if
Okay.
you open it up, the first one you can see here, the follow-up will be created remind 15 days after due date. So whenever the due date of an invoice would be paused and the 15 days have been passed, system will generate a follow-up email to your customer, and the send email is basically active, so the email would be sent out to your customer. And if you go to the activity, you can also schedule these activities for your team as well. And if you turn on this automatic checkbox, the email would be shooted automatically upon the 15th day of the due date.
Okay.
And likewise, you can create the multiple follow-up levels of you can send the first follow-up at the 15 days of the due date, second follow-up at the 13 days of the due date, third follow-up at the 14 days, and likewise you can create the follow-up levels according to your choice.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Any other question?
See, some cases there is a statement of accounts which we give to the customer, in which it will show a printable format of all the invoices which is being generated for a particular period. And again, if any amount given from their side, the paid amount, then what are the outstanding invoices. So all this consists of a statement of accounts. Is there any option to take that such statement of accounts?
Yes, as we discussed in the last session, I think, let me check that. There is option for the customers of India and Australia to generate the customer statement that was not previously showing. Let me check it again. So if we can, otherwise I will check it again and show you. If I go to here, India. Okay, so Shafi, I will check out the statement option is there. Let me figure it out. So how can you do the statement? But for the time,
Okay.
you can also use the partner ledger as well. So you can go to the partner ledger, and let's say
Hmm.
you have to share it for the Abigail Peterson. You can select here the partner as well. So let's say if I filter it for the Abigail. Okay, so the report have been filtered. So you can go to here and you can save it into XLS or the PDF. Let's say I will save it to PDF. So it will show you all of bills. Can you see the PDF as well or not?
Yes, I can see the video.
Yes, so it will show you the bills and the payments of all of transaction details of that are related to that vendor as well. So you can use that for the statement for the time being, but the statement option is also there. I will check it out.
Okay, fine. So in later cases, these statements have been customizable, right? With the help of the Odoo Studio.
Yes, to some extent you can do the customizations as well.
Okay, fine.
Okay, that was about receivables and payables. So now I will do asset registration entry. So how you can do the asset registration? Before that, you need to have the asset registration model. So I will go to the configuration. So we will see how you can create the asset models. Okay, so can you see my Odoo screen?
Yes.
Okay, so on in accounting configuration and assets model. Okay, so I will create a new model. So let's say it's for the laptops. Okay, so I will select give the name of the model. Then I need to select the method of the depreciation that would be charged on my asset. I can select here the straight line, declining and then straight line. So mostly used method is straight line method. You can go with the line method. So let's say my depreciation would be for the 3 years, and I can also change the period to the month. So let's say if I want to change it to 3 years by months, so I can select here the 36 and I will select here the months. Okay, the computation period can be computation on no pro rata basis, constant periods, and based on the days per period. No pro rata basis means it will start it from the start of the year. Constant period means it will start from today's current month and will apportion the amount equal upon each month. Based on days per period, it will calculate the depreciation according to the days of the month. So let's say currently for the current month, 20 days, 23 days have been passed. So it will calculate the depreciation for 7 days only. And then for the next month, it will calculate depreciation for a whole month according to the 30 or 31 days of the month. Okay. So I will go with the constant periods. So it will apportion the equal depreciation. And then I also need to give here the accounting entries data for the for my asset. So what chart of account codes would be used while doing the accounting entries for your asset model. So let's say fixed asset account for my laptop should be office equipment. So let's say if this account is available, no. So what accounts are available for the assets? Furniture and fixture, tools and equipment, plant and machinery, ERP system, investment property. So let's say we can go with the tools and equipment. Okay, and then the depreciation account would be cumulative depreciation. It's lagging here. Okay, so for the depreciation account, you can use the same asset account, or you can create a new name with accumulated depreciation to park all of the depreciation in that account. And then there would be expense account that would be charged when the monthly depreciation would be computed and the journal entry would be passed. So let's say if I go with the current one, 3, and the expense account would be depreciation expense, journal entry would be miscellaneous operation, save. Okay, so the model have been created. Now I need to attach this model with this account. Attachment of this account means whenever a new asset would be received in this account, so this model would be triggered to create the assets. So let's say I will go to the configuration, chart of accounts, and I will go to the same account, tools and equipments. Here is account, and I will go to the view option besides the account, and I will go to the automation. So here is option for the automation. Create in draft, create and validate means when the automation would be done. Create in draft means the asset should be created in draft, and what should be the asset model that I have created right now. It will be appeared. All of the asset models that are created will be appeared here. So I have created only one, so it is appearing here. Laptops. So I will select the laptops. Okay, so creating draft means when the whenever the entry will be parked into this account, that you have received some material into this account, system will create asset and the asset entry would be created in draft. So if you want to create the asset in validate state, so you can also select this option as well. And on the other side there is also and one more option to manage items mean. So when you will receive the material in this account, if you want to manage assets by items means you have received 3 laptops. For every laptop, a different asset should be created. You can go with the manage items. Otherwise, for one consignment or for one shipment, one asset would be created. So let's say you have received material of 3 laptops. So you have received consignment of 3 laptops in one receipt, so one asset would be received registered if this manage items check is not turned on. If this is turned on, so if you have received 3 laptops in one receipt, it will create 3 assets, one asset for each laptop. Is it making sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So let's say I have turned in those. Let's say turn this on. Manage item because laptop need to be tracked and traced by an individual asset. Okay, so 2 steps have been done. I have created asset model. Then the asset model have been attached to the account chart of account code. So whenever the entry would be received in this account, asset should be created. So when the entry is received into this account, if you remember when we created a bill or when we received, or sorry, when we created invoice, so the journal entry is created and account is debited or credited. So these accounts are chart of account codes are basically used for the debit and credit. So we are setting here when this account is used on the bill for the debit, it means some purchase have been done into this account. Then system need to identify that this account has a asset model attached with it, and then system need to create new assets according to this asset model.
Okay.
Okay, now I will go to the vendor and I will create a bill. You can create a bill from the PO as well, but for the time being I will go with a direct bill. You can create the direct bill as well. I will go to the new. I will select the vendor from which I have done the purchase. So let's say I have done the purchase different from this time from the different vendor. Let's say it's yes, Beth Evans. Okay, any bill reference that you can. I will select the product that should be laptop. Okay, so the product is not there. Let me create and edit it. So I'm going to create it right now. laptop, let's say HP, and I can give here oh, i7 Gen. Okay, I can select a storable and consumable as well. Save. Okay, so the product created, and then if I go to the product, I can give here under the accounting the expense of this. So let's say this is asset. So the expense account will be tools and equipment asset account. Save. If I go to a draft bill, and if I select this product again, I add a product, laptop, and now you can see here as I have selected the product, account have automatically been populated because this have been selected on the product. Okay, save. So I am creating a bill mean I have purchased this product from vendor Bethy1. Okay, so when I'm doing this bill, so the account that would be basically debited is the tools and equipment as an expense. So when they, and this is a asset account in my chart of account, so when this account would be hit by this bill, so this account already have a asset model attached with it. System will identify that some product have been received in this account, that product need to be registered as a asset. So I will
Okay.
confirm by giving the date. After giving the date, I will confirm this bill. Uh, okay, we have made a mistake. We didn't give any price. That's why it moved to the paid already. So let me duplicate it again and give me any price. So let's say price of this laptop is 300K. Give bill date and confirm it. Confirm. Okay, so as I have confirmed the bill, you can see here on the top a new smart button attached with asset. Can you see it? Shafi, are you there? Hello.
Yes, I can see. Can see.
Okay, so you can see here the asset smart button that is attached on the bill because the bill is, if I go to the journal entry, bill has hit the tools and equipment account. So we have attached the asset model with this account. So whenever a new product is received in this account, a new asset should be registered. So that's why system have recorded the asset. So we have received one quantity. So it have created the one asset in draft stage. You can see here, and all of the details under here have been populated from the asset model that we created. This is the asset model, and the depreciation method, state line, 26 months constant, and the date from which this depreciation would be started, and on the right side accounting codes. These have been picked from the asset model, and the above information have been picked from the bill. So the value of the asset is 300K. Acquisition date is bill date. Okay, non-depreciation value is 0 because we didn't give any non-depreciable value for the right now for this asset. And on the bill tab, you can see also here the relevant bill from which this asset actually have been received. Okay, so you can
Okay.
compute depreciation for this asset before confirmation of this asset. If you click on the compute depreciation, it will compute the depreciation and will attach a depreciation board new tab. And you can see here, after clicking here, you can see here the depreciation of your assets. So system have created according to your asset model. So you have given into the asset model, depreciation would be straight line and over the 36 months of the period. So if you go to the depreciation board, so it has created monthly 36 journal entries for your equal depreciation entries for the first month, because 23 days have been passed, so it have only calculated the depreciation for the 7 days, and for the next months you can see here the equal depreciation monthly. Okay, till
Yeah.
the time of the last month, and at the last month system calculates depreciation for the remaining amount. So whatever the remaining amount for the last month, you can see here the only 5913.98 is remaining into the asset value. So it is charged only this amount, and then at the last amount you can see here all of the amount of the asset 300K have been charged as the depreciation, and then now the remaining value of remaining book value of the asset is zero at the last
Zero.
36th month.
Yeah. Yeah. So it
Okay,
depends on the
and
initial configuration.
yeah, yes, it totally depends upon the configuration. Okay, and the blue means all of these lines are blue means all of these journal entries, depreciation journal entries are still need to be posted. So system will post these entries automatically on the date of these depreciation date. So let's say first entry date is 31st 7/24. On this date this entry would be posted and the color of this entry would be turned into black, like this.
Okay.
Okay, and the second entry will be posted on the 31st of August automatically, and the color of this entry would be turned into the black as well. So which entry is posted, the color would be turned into the black and will not be editable, and the rest of the entries will be previewed as a blue, means these have not yet been posted. These have been
Okay.
calculated by the asset model, but these have not yet been posted into your account.
Okay.
And you can also see these entries into the accounting, because these entries have been created. So these journal entries for the depreciation have been created, but these are on the draft state, will be posted on the posted date automatically by Odoo.
Okay.
Okay, so if I go to the journal entries, I can show you these entries have been created. So if I go to the filters and if I group it by the general, general for our depreciation entries was miscellaneous, I think. Okay, and if I remove the, you can see here the posted filter is automatically applied. If I remove this posted filter, now you can see here under the miscellaneous operations 40 entries are here. If I expand here, so I can see reference HP laptop, these are the same for the laptop.
Okay.
And if you open it up, it will also show, it should show you message. Why it is not showing me? Go to another one. So normally it shows you the message here as well. This is automatic entry and will be posted automatically.
Okay.
Okay. Any question related to the assets?
No, it's okay.
And then the rest of the process is same for the bill upon which you have received this asset. So you can go ahead and make the payment for the bill to your vendor from which you have purchased the asset, and then you can do the reconciliation of your payment for the for this bill.
Okay.
Now, if I go to the accounting app to just have a general overview, in the accounting app by default you are landed to the dashboard page, and it shows you all of your journal entries. You can say the KPIs. Let's say for the first one is customer invoices, it is showing you 11 unpaid invoices, 8 late invoices, and by clicking on this you can directly jump to the that invoices. Likewise for the vendor bills, it is showing you 2 bills to validate, means the bills have not yet been validated, and then 5 bills to pay, 1 late bills, and you can directly jump by clicking on these links. And likewise for the banks and the cash, it is showing you the bank balances and also showing you the items that need to be reconciled or pending to be reconciled.
Okay.
Okay, and if you all of these general, these are basically generals, and these generals are also available in configuration. You can go and you can find these generals, and you can create your own journals as well if you have accounting background. And then into the reporting, if I talk about reporting, you can go to the reporting and you can have all of the reporting that are related to the accounting. We have already checked the age receivable, that is related to the receivables, age payables, and the partner ledger as well. We have checked partner ledger. Here are the main accounting reports that we already talked about. Balance sheet, that is basically used to know the position of your business, and then the profit and loss report, that is basically used to know the performance of your business, and then the cash flow statement to actually know the liquidity and the cash flow position of your company. Then here is executive summary that actually shows you some of KPIs about your business for the management to just know the performance and the position overall of your organization. Tax report is here that basically shows you all of collected and paid taxes, and then by this report you can also do the tax closing by just adjusting the received and paid taxes to just uh, calculate your actual payable or receivable tax from the tax authorities. And if I go with the first report, balance sheet, so here is by default standard format of the Odoo. So it is showing you under the assets, it is showing you non-current assets of your companies, then the current assets of your companies, then total assets, total amount of your assets, and under the liabilities, it is showing you likewise non-current liabilities, current liabilities, and then the total current liabilities. Then it is showing you the equity part of your company.
Okay.
Okay, and the balance sheet report is basically is on as on date. You can change the as on date as well. You can see it at end of last month, end of last quarter, end of last financial year, or you can give here any custom date according to your requirement to see the balance sheet on specified date. You can
Okay.
also have the comparison of your multiple periods balance sheet. So let's say you want to have the comparison of the balance sheet upon the same period last year. So you can go here and click here apply with the last year. So it will show you the data that was in the same accounts on the last year. Okay, and in the percentage column it will also show you the percentage increase or decrease.
Okay.
Okay, and likewise if I rather than doing it last year, so if I change the as on date and of last month, it's blank, so because it's a new DB today. Okay, so in comparison, rather than doing with the same period last year's, so if I click the period previous period, okay, so it will show me the previous period, that is actually December 20 sorry December yes, December 23, and it is 0 because there is no data in the previous years. Likewise, you can do the generals filter. If you want to see the entries for specific generals, you can do the filters. You can also select here the uh, posted entries only, and if you want to include the draft entries, draft journal entries into your balance sheet calculation, you can also select that include draft entries option here as well. Okay,
Okay.
you can do the same things with the balance sheet report. Like for the export, you can export it in PDF, you can export it in XLX, and you can save it. Save it means if you hit the save button, it will be saved into the Odoo documents tab. So you just have the backup. So let's say you have verified the balance sheet, you have closed your period, and you can save this copy as a final report. You can save it into the PDF, or you can save it to your uh, Odoo documents tab.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And likewise, if I go to the profit and loss report, same options are there for the profit and loss report as well. So it basically shows you the profit or loss for the period that you have selected for your business. At the top, it is showing you the revenue, total revenue that you have earned, then the cost of sale, cost of revenue, then total gross profit that you earned. Then after the gross profit, it is showing you the income, other income, sorry, and other expenses, and then it is showing you the total profit before income tax, and then profit for the year, and the income tax for the year, and then the profit after the tax.
Okay.
Likewise, you have the same options and the filters options like we see on the balance sheet. You can do here the comparison as well. So let's say if you this is the profit and loss for the 2024. You can also change the period as well. So let's say you want to see it for this month, so it will change the profit and loss report for the July only. So this is July data. So if you want to have the comparison with your previous period as well, so select the previous period, apply here, so it will show you the June data as well. And you can see here it is also showing you the percentage increase or decrease in your revenues, expenses, and the total profits. So you can do the comparisons as well.
Okay.
So currently I have selected only 1 month in comparison. You can choose the multiple months in the comparisons as well. Let's say I choose a 6. If I hit the apply button, so it will give me the comparison of the 6 months as well.
Hmm.
And I can also save it into the PDF, this report. I can save it into the XLS, and I can save this report into the Odoo documents as well.
Okay.
Then again, if I go to the reporting, then there is cash flow statement report. It basically shows you the cash flow position of the of your organization, how much cash have been at the beginning, have been received, have been paid, and then at the total cash and cash equivalent closing balance, it shows you how much you cash balance have at the year end. For this, it is totally related to the accounting concept. You have to do some setups for the cash flow as well with your chart of accounts, and then it will be better to use a cash flow statement report. Then the most important report is also executive summary report. If you go to the executive summary, it shows you the basic KPIs about your business performance and position. So let's say at the cash, it is showing you for the selected period, it is showing you the cash received, cash spent, cash surplus, closing bank balance, and then profitability, total income earned, cost of revenue, gross profit earned in that period, expenses in that period, and the net profit in that period. Under the balance sheet, it is showing you receivable for that period, payable for that period, and the net assets for that period. Under the performance, it is showing you some ratios, that gross profit margin, gross profit over operating income ratio, and then net profit margin over income ratio, and then return on investment ratio. And then under the position, it is showing you average debtor days, average creditor days, and short-term cash forecast and current asset to liabilities.
Okay.
Any question do you have, Shafi?
Understood. These are some of the common reports which is available in accounts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we have already discussed partner ledger and okay, sorry. Here is a report general ledger. So if you want to see the any ledger details, is the incoming or outgoing entries or debit or credit entries for any ledger, you can also go to the general ledger report. So let's say you want to see the sales income report, all of details of the sales income. So you can expand this account, so all of journal entries would be there. So from which transactions this account have been credited, and from which transactions this account have been debited. Okay, and you can also jump to the entry from right here. You can go to the three dot button, and you can go to the general entry, and it will lead you to the relevant entry. So let's say this is for the invoice entry. If you go to view general entry, so it will move you to the invoice entry from which this entry have been posted.
Okay.
And then another report is basically trial balance report. It shows you all of accounts upon a specified period for a period, the initial balance and balance for the selected period, and then the ending balance for that account. So let's say the current period is selected July 24. So it is showing you for the assets, it is showing you the July 24 activity, so which have been debited and which have been credited in the July 24. And before that date, what was the balance in that account? So it is showing you before July, before 1st of July 24, the balance in this account was 12,044 for debit balance. It was debit balance, and during the July, this activity have been done in this account. 4528678 have been debited, 4209318.87 have been credited, and the end balance, it is showing you the end balance in the debit and the credit. So the debit have been updated by 4528678 12,000. Yes, so if you expand the accounts, so if you again collapse it, so can you hear me, Shafi?
Yes, I can.
So currently it is showing you the trial balance at the first level. So this revenue expenses, the initial balance for the first level. So it is showing you the actual accounts, and then under the non-current assets, and the current assets have also groups under these. So if you expand the non-current assets as well, so it will show you the accounts under the non-current asset, and if you expand the current asset, it will show the accounts under the current assets. And the arrow button means it still have some accounts under this. So if you expand the yes, receivable, trade receivable, so it will show you the account that is under the receivable. So at above account, at the first level account, it is basically accumulating the balances of all of accounts. So that's why the balances were changing. So I was surprised how the balances are changing. So the actual balances are under the actual account. So if you go to the uh, if you drill this report down to the end level, so you will see the actual balances on the accounts. So this is the end account. So receivable from customers, then the receivable from customer balance is showing into the trade receivable, and then the trade receivable balance is showing into the current asset. Then the current asset is also showing the balances of stock in trade, cash and bank balances as well. Okay,
Okay.
and if you go for the receivable from customer balance, you can see here during the July, it's debited the 24,900 and 914, and then credited the 22,798. And then if you net of these two, so there is net debit balance of 2,116. So if you deduct 22,000 from this 24,000, so there is a net debit balance of this account, and that is the ending balance of this account. Okay, so this report, trial balance report, is basically shows you the balances of your chart of account codes. And then if you selected any specific period on this report, it will also show you the initial balances before that specific period, and then the period for that specific activity for that specific period that you have selected on the report, and then the ending balance of the account.
Okay.
And then here is invoice analysis report, then can also be used. It basically shows you the invoice data in graphical view and in a pivot chart view as well. Okay, so it is currently showing you the untaxed total in the May, June, and now to the current date. So it is showing in the line charts. You can also turn it to the bar chart as well. Okay, you can also turn it into the ascending descending mode. So you can also turn it into the pie chart. So it is showing you the detail of your untaxed amount into June and July. You can also change here the mayors as well. So it is currently showing you the untaxed total. You can also add the margins. Okay, it is showing you the margin and the untaxed total as well. So 98.88% is the margin. And you can also if you want to see the same data in the pivot view, you can also go to the pivots, and it will show you the data in the pivot view. And in the pivot view, you can change the rows and columns as well. So let's say if I click on this total and this total, so it have been collapsed. So if I again click on this total, so let's say I want to see the month wise sales, I will select here the month. So it is showing me the untaxed total, and rather than seeing the untaxed total, I also want to see the total including the tax. Okay, and then on the left side you want to see the partner. So you can see here the monthly partner wise invoice report, so how much sales have been done to the partners. And you can also change, rather than partners, you can also see here the products and the product categories as well. So it is the product category wise monthly sales. And you can also select any of these filters. You can also see the sales teams or the sales person wise report. You can also select some custom colors by going to the custom group. You can select the product category, company, dates. So let's say, and you can also select the multiple as well. So let's say you have select the sales team, and then you can select the partner. So under the sales team, for which partner this sales have been done monthly. Any question? You can also download this pivot into Excel by this option. Okay. You can also insert this spreadsheet into the Odoo document. So the same pivot would be saved into the Odoo documents app as well.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions so far, Shafi?
No, that's
Okay, so that's all about accounting. So if you will do the practice, if there is any question, you can reach to me.
okay. I'll check it and come back to you.
Thank you for today's session, and bye. Allah Hafiz. Till the next session. So tomorrow will be break.
Tomorrow. Oh, not required because we have to practice, right?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you. Allah
Okay,
Hafiz.
okay, sure.